you guys.
Hi.
Welcome to Kekerten. Kekerten.
Here we are at Kekerten Island, a historic site for an old whaling station. In the mid-1800s, whalers from Europe came here, established a station, brought whales in for rendering. The local people were hired to go out in the whaleboats and actually do the harpooning of the whales. Brought them into the site, and so here we see the slipway where they brought up the whales, where they brought the ships that stayed here over winter. They brought them out of the water for the winter. Here we find the big trypots where they rendered the blubber to turn it into whale oil. We also find the huge storage tanks that they put on the ships full of oil to go back to Europe. We also find the sites where the whalers from Scotland and from the United States built their houses, and next to them we find houses called harmak, which were used by the local Inuit hunters. They're made of whalebone with a sod foundation covered with skins in the winter. We also find a lot of graves here. The local hunters who died were buried above ground in wooden boxes. We find graves in the whale barrels, the whale oil barrels as well. The white graves are up on the hillside. They buried them under piles of rocks. So two different places and two different techniques of burial here. There's also a lookout up on the hill, which they used when they were shore whaling to spot the bowheads before they'd go out in the whaleboats to hunt them. Two of the best known whalers from Scotland were both named David Gray Sr. and David Gray Jr. And David Gray Jr. was called the Prince of Whalers because he was so successful at killing whales. So being David Gray and talking about whale conservation, I have a problem too.
Well, David, I have a problem because you must be related to that guy, so I'm going to have to put you in this cauldron and boil you up for your sins.